Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Yes, this is episode 112, where I had the immense pleasure of having Kevin James on today. He is the executive director of the first Icon Agency. We talked about a number of things today. We talked about what the landscape's been like for the independent artists. We've also talked about streaming, like basically how much artists are making from streaming their music on Spotify. And we also talked about how artists have been kind of innovating through the sort of 2020 period and how they might innovate in the future. I have to say it was a very interesting conversation, a very nice chap. I look forward to speaking to him again in the future. So please sit back, enjoy the podcast, and yeah, have a great day. Excellent. Bass. Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Woo! Today on episode 112, I have, Kevin James. He's the executive director of the first Icon Agency based in New York City. How are you today, sir?
I am doing well. Thank you very much for having me. This is a pleasure. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Yes,
It like
yes.
sun's gone down in the UK. It's nighttime here. It's like the first sort of like cold day of 2020 winter, 21. So yeah, all
Mm,
cool. Yeah,
let's
I have
see.
to. I have to ask. Yes, the first Icon Agency. What do you guys do?
Well, oh my goodness. That used to be such a difficult question in the beginning because it's such a hodgepodge of services we provide. But I will nail it down to this. We are a multimedia company
Mm-hmm.
and we provide services in digital music marketing, playlist curation, music administration, graphic design, and artist bookings. And that was the primary. That's how we started out. I
Yeah.
formed this in 2018 and we started out as just artist booking.
Yeah.
Simple thing. And as time developed, I started utilizing all the skills I had developed from the past in the music industry and sort of, hone the agency as it was because as many entrepreneurs, I just sort of dove in
Mm-hmm.
and okay, it's like, all right, now what? All right, do artist bookings, but okay, what? So moved on into digital music marketing, schooled myself in SEO, optimization, all the Google ads, Facebook ads, all that type of stuff. So that's generally what we do, and we are a platform for the independent music community, which is very important.
Mm.
No.
Now, so since 2018, so like basically, what was like the thing which went, yeah, the spark? What went? Okay, gonna do an
Mm.
agency. How did that come about? Was it just you, just as they, if you use the Back to the Future reference, I was changing a light bulb, fell off, and boom, voila, uh, and it came
you
about.
know,
Yeah.
um, I hate to say it, but it really was a eureka moment.
Mm,
I had actually taken 2 years off of the industry. Um, I had done it for, I would say, I was about in it for 12 to 15 years. And my daughter was 1 years old and I was just running myself ragged. And, I'm like, what are you going to do here? I'd gotten out of shape. I had gained like 90 pounds. I was up to almost 200 pounds. I was a mess, man. And, the music lifestyle, I was doing late night studio sessions. By
mm-hmm.
that point, I was a studio engineer. So I'm doing these projects and you're just spending hours at the console just mixing and you're eating while you're there. And it's just a bad lifestyle, man. You're not sleeping. And like I said, my daughter was one. So I remember the night, it was February of 2016. I was at a club with my wife, one of the few nights that I got to actually enjoy a night out. And we're there. And one of the musicians from the session just kept texting me and calling. Where's the session? What's going on with it? Where's the mix? Are we going to be done with it? And from that moment, I said, I'm done. Mentally, I didn't tell her anything. I was just, I'm done.
Mm,
That's it. So from that day forward, I started taking care of myself. I started running. I started working out. I lost all the weight and I just began a fitness regimen. And over those 2 years, just really just I got an introspective look at myself and what are my strengths and weaknesses, and just built a better person first. And then came the eureka moment. A friend reached out from those old days. Hey, what are you up to? I almost didn't want to take the call. It's like, what is he calling about? So we
Devil, get
spoke.
away
He's
from
like,
me. It's like,
yeah.
it's like, okay.
Uh-huh, yes.
Like, you like, it's like,
Oh boy. So I took the call. Hey, what's up, man? It's like, yeah, how's it been going, man? What you been up to? It's like, well, it's been almost 2 years, but hey, I mean, things are going all right. He's like, so I got this project. Like, heart sunk. I'm like, oh boy.
hmm
And it's the way he positioned it. He was like, we worked really well in the past. I think I could utilize your skills. And no big deal. I know, we haven't spoken in a while. No big deal. Just can you help me out with this little project? I had to rewrite his bio for a publication. Simple thing. So I was like, okay, so I did that. And you know how this goes. Oh, this is great. Could you I have some updates on my website. Could you Okay, I'll do that, no problem. Um, I've got this song with this other guy. Could you do the album cover? Sure. And after a while, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm doing the exact same stuff, short of the engineering in the studio. So I'm like, I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing before, but I'm in a different place in life at this point.
yeah.
By this time, my daughter's 3, so she's older, and I'm enjoying fatherhood and stuff, and I'm actually being a decent husband by this point. I'm spending time with the family, the things you're supposed to do. So I'm
Yeah.
at a different place. So I'm like, that was the eureka moment. And so here it comes. So he's like, okay, so I'm doing all this. Now comes the next ask. Um, there's this great venue downtown in Greenwich Village in the city. I know you've got this negotiation style tactic. Do you mind giving them a call? Like, giving them a call. I'm not a booking agent. I'm not a booking agent. It's like, oh, anybody. It's just that I'm the artist, and it doesn't look. It sort of destroys the prestige if I do it. So he's like, you should do it as my representative. Like, representative. Okay, I'll do it, man. And and it was a complete flop. But see, that's the good story. But it was a complete flop. I was awkward. The conversation was awkward. The whole interchange was awkward. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm doing. And they basically wrote me off as some, has been, but they don't know how empowering that was to me, because I'm the type of person, if you take a horrible experience like that and you grow from it. So
Mhm.
I grew from it, and there it was. I was like, I can do this. I can do this. Yes, I'm gonna be a booking agent. So yes, that horrible experience turned into forming a company. So after that, you do it. You form the LLC. You do whatever you need to do business wise, and you jump in. I'm an agency, but I've got absolutely no context. I don't really know how to do this. What do you do? And that's where, hey, that's where you dive head front. You study, you watch. YouTube was such an amazing resource, and you learn. You
Mm.
learn on the fly. You get involved. You get your, what do you call, they get your elbows dirty, and you just get in it. And my goodness, you form your company and you go for it. So that was a eureka moment.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, like
indeed.
this is the thing with like that. Like I can see how that could be like, okay, right. What I really sort of like about that story is like you went, okay, I'm in a place in my life where I see the direction of my life not going in the most ideal way for myself or for my
Mhm.
family. What can I do to change that? And like the whole thing is, you didn't like get out of the morning and went, yes, I'm a changed man.
No.
Hallelujah. And a beam of light came down on you. It was a case of you like
Right.
you went away 2 years, basically getting yourself in shape,
Yes.
grooming your mind, getting your body in like sync, and then basically most like this is where I'm making a sort of leap here and there, but getting like things in order with your family to start
Right.
moving things
Yes.
forward. But I think
Mhm.
people who want to change things in their life in this sort of
Mhm.
day and age, they go, I want to change, but they don't actually look at there might be quite a considerable amount of time where they need to do a lot of groundwork to get them to that
Yes.
moment of change. Because, like, okay, for example, your friend, what I've got to say, your friend, I'm going to call him Quicksand because you know he does, but slowly. It's like,
I know. That's so.
got you. That's before you knew it, you were like, going, son of a gun. I'm in quicksand. I need to get out. It's
Okay.
like too late,
Help.
too late.
Exactly.
Yeah. But if he came
Yes.
to you saying, like, yeah, at the very same time when you're like, nah, I can't be, like, I need to make that change, and you started your journey, you would not have been willing to take that call, listen to him, so,
That's
like,
right. Yep.
and it would have like moved you forward. So, like, this is the thing with all of that, like, how, like, I see how you've started your business. Like, how would
Mhm.
you say these things are helping you with other aspects of your business?
You mean just getting started or just my experience?
Well, let's go with your experience. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. All right. So yes, I start the business there as the booking agent, and like I said, what that allowed me to do was, as I'm seeking information on being a booking agent, on being a good booking agent, I should say, I'm there's aspects of the industry that I knew before from being an artist and all these other aspects of the industry, but now I'm really getting a great education into the music industry, how things work, why they work that way. Before it was kind of, I'm in it and I'm living it, but I don't really understand the why, the how, or the when. And I'm understanding all of that and all of these things besides making contacts in the industry via social media or whatever, via the shows. I'm making contacts now.
Mm,
So I'm out there, I'm with other artists. So now I can expand the industry. I can expand the services, I should say. So now, okay, now it can expand to playlist curation. Now that I'm involved with all these independent artists, they all come to me with the same issue on Spotify. How can I increase my streams? How can I do this? How can I boost my music on these streaming platforms?
mm,
Okay, all right. Playlist placement is one of the top means of boosting your exposure in the music industry. So I got into that. Then came the second matter: Facebook and Instagram ads or social media ads. That's digital marketing. Then came that fold. Okay, yes, I can comfortably say we can offer that, sir. I can offer that to you and help you out with that. So there came that graphic design. I had that from the past, but I was always reticent to start that part of it because I didn't enjoy it, Frank. It was something I was good at, but I didn't enjoy it just sitting there. I was in front of a computer designing.
mm,
Then you send it off. I don't like that. Could you tweak this color? So it was the what do you call it? Just the repetition of it was boring. But I felt, hey, why not offer that as well? I'm at a different place. Let's do that, and I can earn off of it. So we offered that and music administration, which is something that many artists find. And hey, it is boring. It's extremely boring. I know people see the music artists, you see the glitz and the glamour, the music videos, the jewelry and that. But it's really the boring music administration part, which really sets up an artist, and that's having your organization set up, which sets up your royalty chains, which sets up your revenue chain, which you can continually earn off your music, which many artists miss out on. So these were the parts that I was like, now I can offer this as an agency. Wow.
mm.
I started as a booking agent, as sort of even by accident. And here we are offering all this and even looking to expand to being an artist and business manager. So that's where we're looking to go into this next phase, as some of the independent artists we're working with are looking to become signed. So once they're signed, then you can move into being an artist manager and business manager, which is once again something just, but I'm
Yeah.
hoping to do well at it.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Like, one of the things, like, especially with the 21st century and the way the music industry has gone,
Uh-huh.
and the sort of many different avenues, and with with many independent artists, if they turn around and went, I don't need you because I can do it all myself, because that is there are a couple of examples of people who've done that, like,
Yes.
over there, and, like, you know what I mean, like, why do I need you? Like, what would you say to them?
Yes, indeed. I would say because, well, you know what? I had that same mindset myself. But
Mm,
once again, now that I'm in it, I realize you do need a team. Not necessarily, I'm not talking about a 10 to 15 person team, but you need someone behind you to do the things to allow you to reflect on your artistry as a whole. And this cripples a lot of artists. And I understand you want to be in control of everything because things happen. Okay, I have a business manager handling things. This guy's cheating me out of revenue on the side because it's
mm,
just difficult to keep track of everything while you're maintaining the creativity, studio sessions, and releasing records. Now I have to worry about how's it going to get promoted. I have to do ads, SEO. I have to make sure I'm signed up to everything. It's impossible. Something's going to drop, and that's likely your artistry. So that's why you need a service like First.com agency to help you with all those administrative tasks so that you can truly do the things that enhance your artistry.
mm.
And
Like
yes,
yourself,
indeed.
where you didn't like graphic design was not your bag. Like basically, many
Yes,
artists, it like basically doing music administration and all the sort of little other things to promote their music might not be their bag. So you're bringing that skill set
right.
to them.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, indeed. Just bringing something more to the table that, hey, 'cause again, even if it is your bag, once again, dealing with the artistry and creativity and just being out there. I know things are a little different with these COVID times,
Mm.
because the aspect of just being out, you should be out at the lounges and the clubs, should be making appearances, sitting there. But we are going to return back to normal at some point. So these are things that the artist needs to focus on instead of worrying about the back end of, oh my God, are all my songs registered with the performance rights organization? And did I receive all of my revenues this month from Ireland and Germany? No, no. You need an agency that can set you up first of all, and provide these reports to you on a basis right in front of you. Okay, great. All right, now I can get back to doing what I do to make great music.
Mm. Yeah, like
Yes,
with
indeed.
regards to you mentioned like like the old COVID, with regards to lockdowns and everything like this. And I
Yes,
think
yes.
like just as we're coming out of our second lockdown, I think you guys are gonna go into a next lockdown.
That's
Yeah,
that's what
like
they say.
and yeah, like when what I've seen on the news, like California and New York are some of the hardest hit like states
Yes.
there is. Like how has that been kind of a challenge for yourself and other artists in your community?
Well, obviously the venues are closed, and it is such a wow. It is such a burden
Mm,
on the music industry as a whole. It is literally crippling the music industry. That is, I mean, live performance is really I would say that's the predominant means of revenue for an artist. Yes, streaming and the royalties you obtain from that, but that's a minimal thing. It's all about the performers going out and performing, selling merch, boosting the exposure on your music as a whole. So the fact that that's not there, that's been very crippling. I mean, I mean, it's just like the venues themselves, right? I mean, there's rumors that about 70%. I'm talking nationwide. I don't even know worldwide, but there's a rumor that 70% of venues probably won't even be able to recover from this because they've been sitting. This started in March.
yep.
It's crazy. It's March. 8 months.
Yeah.
8 months. These people have to pay rent. They have to. There's workers. These workers are laid off. So you're talking about the fallout is just massive. Now the workers are laid off. Okay, you keep the few workers. The city allowed curbside. You could order curbside drinks. Or you could do show. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. You could do some shows, but what I think it was 25% capacity. I mean, come on. Most of these venues max out at about 200
Mm,
to 250 people, and I'm talking about the mid-sized ones. So now I can only allow this amount of people in. It's just crippling to the industry as a whole, and hopefully, um, one thing either we could come out of this soon. I know they're formulating vaccines, and in my opinion, once they formulate this so-called vaccine, I think we're going to see things magically open up. It wasn't that deal. Once they mandate these vaccines, hey, everything's good again.
Yeah.
Like, go figure.
Like,
Yes. You know.
yeah.
or,
This is the
or
thing
there's
with regards to that vaccine. Like everyone,
uh-huh.
this is the thing with that like the whole vaccine. Look, I'm not
Uh-huh.
anti-vaxxer or anything like that, but I look. The more people I talk to, the more people are kind of looking at it kind of with the side eye, like going,
Me too. Yes.
It's like,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Like, uh-huh.
yeah, okay.
Right.
It's like, like, hey, doc, yeah, you put your family members through it first.
Exactly.
I
Show
wouldn't-
me that. Show me that.
How are they doing? Oh, they're fine. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
There it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
me.
It's like,
Yes.
well, just like, well, little Johnny's got a cough. Okay, maybe not.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll see you later.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll be over here
Yes.
with my mask on. Like keeping the month up. Oh yeah. So yeah,
Yes. No, I'm very skeptical of it, but I know how these things work. So I just feel things will magically open back up. Oh, everything's great. Yes, the venues will fly up and everything will be back to normal. Either that or we come up with a package. I know there's an initiative here in the States called Save Our Stages. So they're working to write congressmen, representatives, and legislation, just trying to come up with some type of legislation to provide relief
yeah,
to venues and artists alike to try and give some type of long-term relief. Because I mean, I've known people. Do you have Uber Eats over there? I'm
yeah,
sure you
we
do.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, DJs and artists. That's another is really crippled DJs. But DJs, artists alike, have gone out to delivering for Uber Eats, driving Uber, just finding any ways to just create some revenue. You know?
yeah. No, like this is the thing. Like like you mentioned this for the artist, but like the whole thing is like the list just will go on and on and on because it's like you know what I mean. It's the stage. It's like restaurants, bars. It's like yeah,
Yes.
like
Oh,
and just it just you just like go okay. Look, don't get me wrong. When this first like struck, you kind of like went, okay, any government, you're just like, yeah, there's no, you can prepare for this. You told me you said this about like yeah 2 months beforehand, or like if you said this 2 years ago, you were like, that would make a great movie. I would like to see what happened, but
yes.
you wouldn't be like going, yeah, they will just literally shut down 80% of everything,
Yes.
the whole planet.
Everything.
You're just like
Yes.
going, nah, that never happened. And here we are today.
Here we are.
And so it's just like you kind of look at it and go, right. And now with they know a little bit more about it and they should be more knowing, you would think
Hmm.
they would come up with better strategies. Look,
Yes.
don't get me wrong, like I've looked at many a government all around the world, and look, apart from the New Zealand government, which are all sitting there smug and like smiling about it, oh, we got no COVID here. It's like going, yeah, that's because you're in the back end of nowhere with like, a very tiny population, which is
There's no
very,
people.
very yeah. It's like going, you can fit the whole population of New Zealand in Manhattan like
And
that.
man, right.
Yeah, it's like,
Yes.
so you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, hey, I have nothing against New Zealand, but it's a very different
Yes.
scenario to
Oh my
many a
goodness.
country around the world. Like that, you just look at
Hmm.
and you kind of like, go, okay, what are you going to do about that? But
Yes.
right now, well, I'm like, I'll try to stay away from American politics. Like right now, yeah, like
Uh-oh. Oh dear.
you've got one president saying goodbye and you got the president elect coming in and
Yes. Yes.
I'll just say okay, yeah, just like I'm not gonna say I can't I really wish I could say something positive, but I think it's a case of yeah, what's going out and what's coming in. I think it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be the same but with different clothing.
Oh yeah. Oh, oh. I'm not. I don't know what these people are doing, celebrating in the streets and all that. I'm like, what? What are you doing? Hey, hey. Come on here. This is the like you said. I like that term. What was that? I've heard that before.
What?
What was that? It's some of the same clothing, something like that.
Yeah, just different clothing. Like basically, yeah.
Yes, different clothing. Yes, 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 indeed. Yes. So I don't know what was going on with all that. I think that was an agenda that's been promoted by the mainstream media. But yeah, I'm like, hey, there's just so many things so many matters and issues to deal with. So yeah, that was That was the last, and it was no point of celebration, in my eyes. I was like, oh, we're still, like she said, we're still in virtual shutdown here, and an economic crisis that has developed from it, and there's hungry people out here
Mm,
looking to see what type of solution is there. So, aside from the celebration, yes, there's a new administration coming in, but frankly, I mean, they'll be inaugurated in January, and they need to get to work with finding a solution. Like I said, either we're gonna just magically open back up again, or
yeah,
come up with a relief package where
yeah, it gets.
majority of our citizens are not, wondering, well, where's my next dollar gonna come? Well, I can't pay the rent.
Mm,
There's some serious issues going on out here. Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And like this is the thing, like out of this sort of like crisis or like let's say of these hard moments which we're going through right now, have you seen any sort of form of innovation with regards to like how artists are getting their like selves out to the public these days, like which has been
Hmm.
brought on through the lockdown in basically
Oh.
2020?
Hmm. Yes, indeed, and it's been the promotion of live streaming that has been, now it existed always, but it wasn't something that was highly utilized. First of all, from the technology standpoint, it's kind of blotchy and sketchy and jumpy,
Mm,
and the sound quality was pretty awful. But with the advent of with the shutdowns, okay, what do I do? You had all of these services. You had services. Once there's services like Soundbids or Gigmore, and the services that helped artists find gigs.
mm,
So now they're in trouble. I mean, artists pay monthly fees to these services to connect them with venues, and it's a great partnership. Artists connects with those venues, but now they're struggling as a company, right? These venues aren't even open. So what they start is they start a live stream thing, a partnership with these venues, where the venues, they can have people perform in these venues. Obviously, there's no one there, but they can set up a live stream feed. And
mm,
that's what really, a lot of artists did that. A lot of artists I work with decided, yeah, I'm gonna rent something, and not even necessarily a venue. They rented some hall, because you realize dance studios, all this type of stuff, they're closed. Sure, need the revenue, come in, set up a band there, live feed it to IG or Facebook, sell tickets to it, and you got a show. Yes, it definitely is not the same vibe. I can tell you that, and I know probably users who've watched it, and I'm talking about artists that I love and enjoy. But it's just like, I've got the phone. There's
yeah.
nothing like being there, feeling the
Mm,
energy of the crowd, and you see the artist. There's nothing like that. But at the same time, I love the way the industry pivoted and said, okay, boom, let's do this. Let's do that. And there's been a growth by over 45%, according to the recording industry of America, at least in America, of live streaming events. So, like I
mm,
said, they're working on the technology. It still is a bit, as far as the visual content. I've seen some pretty clear ones, but still the sound quality is not where I would like it.
yeah.
But things always advance. So I just love the way the industry just, okay, we're in this predicament, okay, people can't come, fine, live stream it. And a lot of major artists jumped on that as well. So,
Yeah, I
so
think
that's
it's
that's a really,
yeah, I think it's a case of it's a learning curve right now because like this is the thing. Like
yes,
if you think about okay, when all of the sort of lockdown, I was basically started my podcast, going through it, like, and I had my little webcam doing everything like this. Upgraded
yeah,
my webcam to like my like DSLR AED camera. So it's like, yeah, much better, like much better quality cam link because they were like
hmm,
gone. But when with other people, you see like the sort of camera quality was like one way, and it was like,
yes,
oh, it's shocking. Then as each and every like when you saw news reports and stuff like this from people's homes, then it was
hmm,
like some people were like, okay, it started there where it was like, okay, you're a pixelated mess, and then it went to like
right,
being very like pristine, sharp, clear, sometimes even better than the TV cameras you see. And
yes,
like they've improved that side of things. And I think it was a case of a learning curve for those people. And I think with
yes,
regards to the sound aspects and getting that quality down, I think that's another learning curve I think people are going through right now. And I think by well, I don't know if this is going to be a thing which will be a permanent thing to sort of like, okay, we've got a live venue, then we've got a live stream on the next day. Do it that way for people who couldn't get into the venue. Maybe it is, but if it
It
goes on
might.
for a year or so, I think you're going to have venues which are kitted out with the right sounds, right lights, everything like that. So it's a
Hmm.
real good production, a real production, you know?
Right. Yes. Yes. I'm hoping so,
Mm,
because I think that, I mean, before this even happened, there was talk that talk from a certain live events promoters like a Live Nation, that they were going to live stream actual concerts. So there'd be the concerts that people can go to, but they
mm,
were going to earn even more revenue from folks who maybe couldn't afford the tickets to go to the live event, or maybe in another state or city, still going to live stream that and make even more money off of that, and have people tune in that way. So, I mean, then the pandemic hit, and then it became, one way. But still, this was being, bantered about even before the shutdown. So it's going to be curious to see once we get back into the norm. See, okay, great. So we're going to
yeah.
have a live event, and we're still going to live stream it. So
Mm,
I think just giving two options, and then you can show it anytime you want, right? Not necessarily the night of the event. You could live stream. Hey, Tuesday night. Hey, here's Travis Scott. Here,
yeah.
there you go. Something like that, just to increase the visibility and a means for them to earn profits.
Yeah.
That's really the gauge of them. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, no, like this is the thing. One of the things I would say with this new sort of advent of technology, and you sort of
Mhm.
touched on it with like streaming platforms. Now, like I'm a kid of the 70s and 80s, and
Yes,
basically,
me
yeah,
too.
the rise of MTV and basically seeing how it changed everything. And basically the
Completely.
three major artists what utilized that one Michael Jackson, Prince, and Madonna to like take
Right.
things forward. And it was like, okay, like frig, the Thriller video, which was like a truly sort of cinematic piece. And you're like going, okay, wow. Like,
Yes.
and
Yes.
see that everyone talked about that. And it sort of like, that's the way music was basically promoted, sold for, like up until the sort of like sort of mid, no, late 90s, sort of early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Yes.
Yeah,
And CD came about.
yep. It was then. It was a case of the internet sort of came in. You had your Napster and everything like this,
Yes.
and
Yes.
like it kind of. I wouldn't say it changed it too much, but now, would you say streaming music has affected the way music's produced? It's not maybe not as long, or it's done
Uh,
something different along that lines.
yes. You notice, huh? You notice. That's great. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. And the reason for that is that yes, this is a with the streaming
Mm,
with the way it is in streaming, it is a very fickle thing. I mean, you've got access when you enter your streaming platform, you've got access to over 70 million songs.
mm,
People are like this. I'm gone. I need to impress you right away. 30 seconds counts as a stream. Anything. So I just need to hold you for 30 seconds to get a stream as regarded by the streaming platforms. Anything under that is nothing. That's like the person skipped it. So
oh,
so that's very important. I just want 30 seconds of your time. And also, as far as playlists, a lot of playlist curators will not add you if your song is over 4 minutes. So songs have gotten shorter and shorter. The 4 minute song is like some dinosaur now.
wow,
Not going to deal with it because unfortunately this goes into the because this goes a little bit into the black market. A lot of playlist curators are operating on the event. They buy plays for their playlist.
yeah,
That's how they draw you in, right? So I'm going to charge this artist money for my playlist, but the artist needs to see they're getting streams. So the playlist curator will buy streams. And if I have a certain amount of songs on my playlist, I need them to be as short as possible so I can go around so I can purchase more and get more of an effect on each song. If I have longer songs, then I can't add as much, and that's reducing the amount
yeah,
of that's reducing the amount of pull I'm going to get for each of these plays I buy. So all of that has played into this whole 2 minutes, 3 minutes at best. I mean, I've gotten back into music production on the EDM side, and same thing. My song is 2 minutes and 22 seconds. 240, 250, and one is 310, which I was very disappointed about.
Monster.
This-
It's like-
yes, that's like an extended mix from back in the days. I come my mother played these 12 inches, these disco 12. They're like 15 minutes. It just like,
yeah,
my goodness, when is this ending? No, boy, no, no, no. We got a lot more to go. Like, oh my goodness. But yes, yes. So that is really affected. And TikTok has been another another, some would call it a detriment, but the whole TikTok thing. So people are even keeping their songs 50 seconds, a minute 10. It is getting to the point where that's why I'm saying some call it a detriment.
yeah,
Because are you really creating something to last the test of? Are you creating a composition? Or are you just creating something that people are going to engage with and be entertained with,
yeah.
and that's it?
No,
And
because yeah, because like this is the thing. Okay, don't get me look. I've got kind of a eclectic sort of taste in music and stuff like this,
hmm
but it's mostly drawn out through sort of music videos. If I had if the music video is quite cinematic, it basically gets me. Like so thriller,
mm,
like and like this is one of my favorite music videos, and this might sound strange, but November Rain, Guns N' Roses. That video, it's
mm.
11 minutes long, and like you watch it, it's like yeah, it's like watching a little microfilm, and like to sort of like oh yeah, cut it down to 2 minutes. You're like oh what? Like like maybe it's just maybe it's because I'm too old or I've like been exposed to that like way.
Mm.
I think 2 minutes like is not good. Like put it this way. I bought the Warren G album and it was 27 minutes. I was pissed off to say the least. It's like going it like because yeah, at the time a single could be 27 minutes, a whole album,
Get
27
get
minutes.
back.
Yeah. So would
Wow.
you say they like just from your point of view, would you say
hmm
there's been a sort of decline in quality?
Oh yes, yes, yes. Because the mode has become quantity now instead of the quality.
Mm,
Yes, even the Spotify CEO Daniel Eck, promoted artists should just keep releasing music. Spotify wants content. He said artists should just keep releasing music. And obviously, if you're trying to provide any type of quality, you're not just going to release music every month.
mm,
You know, I mean, first you want to release your music and actually have the time to promote it and work with. You're just not going to do that. But and that's promoted with many of the streaming platforms, the digital distributors as well. They're like, provide us content,
yeah.
feed us, and it's more quantity. Hey, I released 15 singles this year. Are they great? Are they really solid singles?
Yeah.
Maybe not, but I've got 15 singles out on this platform. Come check it out. I can go to my socials and say I've got 15 songs out. It's kind of yeah, it's kind of a race to I've got the content, okay?
Mm,
And that's what the streaming platforms want, and that's kind of what's promoted now. And I guess that has a lot to do with social media. They always encourage artists, and I encourage artists as well to be active on your social media. Show you're doing things,
yeah.
show activity. And I think a lot of artists mistake that with, okay, I need to release. I released something last month. Okay, that doesn't mean I need to release something. Just keep them interested. No, keep them interested with other things you're doing, but you don't have to. So I released it. I released it. I
Yeah.
released it, and that's the mode now. And then, as you know, it wasn't that I didn't come from that. I mean, some artists would drop an album, and probably 2 years later, an album would come. Let alone albums are a dinosaur themselves. Singles, an EP is what you're going to get these days. Maybe a 3 or 4 song EP at the
Yeah.
most. So that's the mode these days, unless like Taylor Swift and The Weeknd, those type of mainstream artists, they still drop albums, but the independent artist is usually not going to drop an album.
Yeah.
No.
No, because like this is a thing. Like two things will sort of tie up in my mind. One, like the sort of like how you mentioned, like, yeah, people who create these playlists like buy actual streams like to
Yeah.
get these like playlists get boosted up to get mostly more sort of traffic or the algorithm to kick in. And
Yes.
two, when you mentioned Taylor Swift, like Taylor Swift has had a very interesting journey recently with the whole sort of legal like side of things
Yes.
because like
Mhm.
one of the things like, and I wasn't aware of this. No, like I was kind of aware of this because of like the Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson story about masters. Yeah,
Yes,
like
sir.
and like yeah, she was like
Classic.
yeah trying to like she was like pissed off because yeah her masters like she
Yes.
doesn't own them or anything like this, and like
No.
you know what I mean. Most artists, let's be honest, it's always kind of front loaded because that's their most like at the time that was their most relevant. That's when they were the freshest, everything like this. They could that was all they concentrated on. So it's going to bring in more revenue.
Yeah.
Now she's like kind of she's like okay, she's most like you got to call her a top three artist at this point in
Definitely.
time. Yeah,
Definitely. Yes.
yeah. And like if she has no power or with regards to that. I know she got a new contract to like, oh, my masters are my masters. Do not mess with me. And like they went, yes, just sign. You'll be okay. Like, well, when like they saw, I think you can tell me like, but didn't her masters get sold on to another company or something like that?
Yes. 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 And that's the thing. Yes. And I mean, I would say, yes, and I'm not exaggerating. I would think, and I would say 99% of artists who sign to a label, you don't own your masters.
Mm,
That's part. It's the trade-off. Yes, for the trade-off to the record label's resources, contacts in the industry, and their financial backing behind you, you in a sense you transfer your copyright of your master recordings over to them. And I know it's the terms. I think there's something that has to be done with it because it's just it's kind of offensive that even after your contract is done, I can understand if during the length of your time with that record company, they
yeah,
own the right to your masters. That's beautiful. But after they've moved on, they've dropped you, you've gone on to another label, or maybe now you're just independent. They still own the right. They could release they release greatest hits things. They put your stuff in movies against you see your
yeah.
stuff in commercials, and you're getting you're getting a little royalty from it, but they own the masses. They're getting the mass of all of that revenue, and it's just like you have absolutely zero control over it.
Mm,
It's frustrating. So there's a push now for many artists to just saying, listen, I'm going to do this independently. And I wonder sometimes because I mean, when you sign with a record label, it is a bank loan in essence. It's a loan. Record label gives you in advance. That is not your money. Many artists fail to. That's why they call it in advance.
yeah,
When you sign to a record label, they'll say, let's say, here's 250,000. That money is to record your album. That's in your entire budget. Record your album, do your budget, do your promotion, all that stuff. Yes, that's not your money.
mm,
You don't start earning until they've recouped all of that money back from sales, from merchandise, from anything. Until they recoup that 250,000 back, you owe them,
mm.
and it's a never-ending cycle. So, okay, first project, I still owe you. I say no problem. You'll get it back on the second album. Now they're giving you more money to record that, and it's just a never-ending cycle. That's how you some people may be in awe when they see these big time artists like you'll see a TLC say that we're broke.
Mm.
And I didn't understand that then until I started really getting into the weeds of how the music industry works. Now I understand how they're broke. I mean, they toured the world and they're broke.
Yeah. Like they had like was it a good fight? Like they had a good 5 year turn in the 90s
Yes,
where like they were
up to the
literally
top
everywhere.
echelon of
Yeah.
the charts. Yes,
Uh,
not earning a thing. All the record companies getting
mm.
all of
No,
that management and record company.
yeah, I feel like they need to sort of anyone who deciding to become an artist in any formal way, they need to like sit down and like really sort of have like take a business acumen course because like
Yes,
the whole thing is, I, it's a story which you keep on hearing. This person's being screwed out of
it's
this. That person's
constant.
screwed out of this.
Yes,
Like you go right, they don't get a royalty check for that, and like you're like going, what's going on here? Like, okay, surely one person should have learned from, but it seems like it's this always going on the same way.
never-ending
And
circle.
yeah,
Yes.
and like this is the thing. If like sometimes it's like, oh look, yeah, scrape up 10 grand together. Why? So you can get a good lawyer to simply just sit down and go through your contract and go, yeah, this, that, the other, take that out, get me this
Mhm.
and them. and that might be the best 10 grand investment you might
Oh
actually
my
make as an
goodness.
artist. But
Yes. It's just frustrating. I mean, look how big of an artist Prince was. He's walking around for years with the slave on his cheek.
yeah,
Warner Brothers had him by the by the
mm,
neck.
yeah,
Big artists like that. All these albums, he's like, I don't want to create this. That's when he started. He's releasing album after album just to get through the contract,
mm,
you know. And that wasn't the Prince I knew. That was I didn't enjoy that type of music.
no.
He's just putting it out.
Yeah, because he had to.
Yeah.
Like he was caught in a snare and he was desperately trying to chew his way out. It's
Yeah.
like, if he had to leave a limb or two, yeah, so be it. Uh, yeah, but like this is the thing, like, and sort of referring back to sort of the main three of the 80s, like I would say, yeah. The most savvy business one out of them was like I would have to say Michael Jackson because he just like,
Absolutely.
yeah, and that's why I think he's just like, okay, yeah, bam. You didn't really hear any sort of like controversy with contracts here, contracts there. Then I'll give it Madonna second place, then Prince third because of his troubles.
Hmm.
But yeah, but I think Madonna
Yes, indeed.
every night after a concert, she would sit down and like work out the gate, work out how much merch was sold,
That's
and like
amazing.
because and
That's
like
amazing.
basically just sit down and basically when everything was like calculated done, then she'd be like, okay, I'm going to bed because you know what I mean. You see that side
That's
of her,
amazing.
it's like yeah, and like strutting and thrusting, but you don't see the businesswoman which is there as well.
Businesswoman.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is so key. And like I said, you're an artist, you're doing a you've just performed a show, routines, choreography, this and how you know you're now you're going to deal with the gate and how much this came in. I mean, she's performing in arenas. These aren't small venues. She's talking about arenas here. And I'm sure there was merchandise being sold. So the fact that she concentrate on that is yeah, that's amazing because people have hired. There are people with business managers. The Migos recently they had an issue with their business manager. They've accused their business manager of some 5 million, I believe they've accused the
Oh,
business manager of scraping from them, and it's the same. But it's like, no, we haven't checked the books, and it's like checking how many years of books, the ledgers and all that stuff. I mean, would they even really understand it? So,
mm,
I guess they'd have to have their attorneys look at that. But this happens time and time again. So that's awesome that she herself, the artist, now she looking to self understand it,
mm.
which is another thing, and proceed with her business. I guess that's why she's still viable to this day,
Yeah, well, yeah.
still touring and doing her thing. The
Mm.
material girl.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
yes.
she sang. No, she didn't say it. She sang it, and they made the packet off of it. So just like, yeah, huh. Just like just be
Uh-huh.
is what scale she was actually aiming at.
Yeah. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Man,
yeah. So
it's indeed, man.
yeah, so with this, like, okay, let's skip past 2020. I'm gonna say let's skip past 2021 as well because yeah, it's
It's
like
like that's the comeback here, right?
yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. It like it'll mostly start getting motoring halfway through the year, but yeah, you know how it
Yeah.
like yeah. So how do you think the music industry or the entertainment industry is going to sort of find its way back?
Well, yes, indeed. That is a good question. Well, in my estimation, like I said, I believe that I think the reports of 70% of venues not being able to come back, I think that's a bit overstated. So in my mind, yes, there's going to be some downfall. So okay, let's say a third of those don't come back. Okay, I still think the industry will push forward because okay, once things are set in place, what happens? Entrepreneurs, new places will pop up.
Mm,
So that's what's going to happen. So I think the industry as a whole will kind of fall back into what it was, but I believe, and this once again, this was happening before the shutdown. There is no better time to actually be an independent artist than now. The power is being slowly but surely drained from the major labels because I could, I'm here in my setup. I could make a record right now and release it to all the streaming platforms in a matter of hours.
mm,
Before I needed to, I need to go to a studio, have my my master pressed, then make copies, and then actually negotiate with a record store or any retailer to carry it, and then haggle with them about the prices. Now I could go here, make a record, send it to the digital distributor, have my song released in a week. It is out to all the major streaming platforms, and now it's on me to advertise as an independent artist, do my thing, and put the money behind ads or whatever I need to do to promote it. It's on me. Now, obviously, you want a record company with their massive amounts of money and resources behind that promotion, but at the same time, they decide when you release something. They decide when you can record something. Another big thing about being an independent artist is collaborations with other independent artists. That's another way how you boost your exposure out there. The record label says, no, that artist is not big enough. You're not collaborating with them. Anti. Um, I decide the date of my release. Record label, we're releasing we're releasing Taylor's album this week, so we're gonna push you off about 4 months. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. And now while I'm released, the weekend's record is out now. So yeah, I know yours is out, but we really gotta push resources into him. So you're kind of on your
Mm.
okay. So now I've lost a whole year waiting for Taylor's album. My album finally dropped. Now you can't even promote it.
Well, like this is the
So
thing. Like album might not even be relevant to the time it's come out because it.
right, yes. You hear artists who've like, I'm talking some 3 or 4 years now finally, now finally, okay, it's released. Music styles have changed. The relevancy has gone away. They've probably done some timepieces on their album,
Mm.
relevant to the time, like an artist might have done a pandemic song. Imagine it's in 2025, where there's a distant memory.
It's like I don't want.
Shut down.
Remember 2020? Yes, keep it there. I don't want to hear.
Exactly.
Bye bye.
Get that out of here.
Yeah.
They might have made some election references. It's like, what? That guy's out of office by now.
Yeah.
So it's a frustrating thing. So I think the music industry is going to be able to snap back into place because it's a resilient industry. As you've seen throughout time, the industry seems to whatever's going on, the industry either catches itself up or they adapt immediately. Just like when streaming even first came available with Napster and all these free services like LimeWire, music industry
Oh,
had its
God,
it's like,
right
what
way.
are we gonna do? These people are getting stuff for free.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. iTunes, Apple Music, all right, there's a code you can download once. You can send a gift to somebody. They sued LimeWire and stuff. They got Napster under wraps. Music industry adapts. Even CDs was a problem at first. You could rip a CD and get all the songs. You could buy a CD and rip the songs off and send it to your friends. My God, we're losing all this revenue. What are we gonna do? So yes, I think we will snap back into place. I just hope that the percentage of people who decide to give, because there are going to people to listen. I have to move on.
Mm.
There's a lot of musicians who this is it. There's a 9 to 5 musician who can kind of work their way through this. So like, okay, I can ease this through when things get back to normal. But there's people who solely live by this, and they're like, hey, I have to move on and do something else,
Mm.
whether it be family pressure, because that can be bad as well. Your wife, your kids. It's like,
Yeah.
jeez, I love music though, honey.
Yeah. There's like a.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I love food and rent. It's like,
Exactly.
uh, and yeah, this one likes to eat a lot. It's like,
Exactly.
and that one
Right.
too. It's like,
Yes.
like
Right. So
money.
yes,
It's like,
your love of performing for the people.
it's like, get the
Uh,
people,
right.
get the
These
people,
are the people you need
work
to be
out your
concerned
family.
about.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, right, right. So yes, indeed. But ultimately, I believe everything will snap back into place, and the independent artists will be even the more stronger. We'll have a lot more leverage.
Mm.
Even in terms of what's happening with the streaming platforms and the poor payouts that they give for the streaming royalties,
Yeah,
which are
that's
very
what.
poor, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you next because, like, okay, you like independent like artists, right? Like from
Mhm.
streaming, like, can someone can they make an effective living from what they actually pay out on the royalties? Is like I
Oh, no
know.
way.
Okay, what is like? Do you know what a royalty payout is from the streaming services?
Yes. Oh, it's embarrassing. It's
Oh,
embarrassing. The average is, and this fluctuates sometime because Spotify has an aggregate payout situation. Yeah, no, it's where there's not like a set streaming. There's not like a set stream equals this. No, it's
no,
an aggregate payout they do.
time is time, right? So,
I know. That's another thing that bothers people. It's like what? What they
mm,
do is an aggregate thing. They they um they add up the amount of revenue on a monthly basis that they receive from all their premium subscribers. Okay, so
yeah.
they have the pool of that. Now they distribute that percentage wise. Let's say Taylor Swift got 30 million streams this month. They would do the calculation. Okay, she deserves this much of the pot, and then it goes out therefore by a percentage.
Oh,
Yeah. So, but the range is like 0.004 of a cent is what you get per stream. That's the range on a monthly basis. So a million streams on Spotify is about $12,000. So as you see, no one can live off that. It's nice. It's nice to have, but someone thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna kill it in the streaming game. No, no,
no,
not at all. You need perform. That's why live performing, being able to sell merchandise is so key to maintain yourself as an artist. The streaming thing is it boosts your exposure. That's what it's there for in my mind. As far as money, it's nice. Like yeah, like for instance, what did I see? I saw a wonderful, I saw a $76 distribution for some streams I recently got, which once again, that's absolutely nothing. But okay, who's gonna? It's a thing you take, but yes, there's no one that's going to be moving into a mansion and buying cars from
no.
their distribution from streaming. No,
Oh,
no, and the major artists like Taylor Swift has made so much noise about this because I mean she racks up more streams than anybody, and can you imagine this? A million. I mean, let's say she does about 30 million streams. So
mm,
okay, 12,000, and still that's not a lot of money for 30 million streams. You
no,
know,
no, no. Like this is the thing. Like what also with like regards to a platform like Spotify,
hmm
with like okay, now they're called like kind of doing a more of a shift to what we're doing right now. Like
yes,
uh,
absolutely. That's
so
strategic.
yeah, so is like a platform like Spotify ideal now for a independent artist, or would they need to sort of find other fare? Because like podcasts, okay, a podcast is not a short thing. Okay, like it
Right.
can be anything from half an hour to okay, if you're doing Joe Rogan levels, like three and
Oh
a
my
half to
goodness.
4 hours.
It talks forever.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you get what
Right.
I mean, and that's a
Yes.
lot of time. Like that's literally thousands of like potential like independent records which are not being listened to because someone's listened to the actual
Listen to a
podcast.
podcast. Yes. Yes, indeed. No, well, not in its essence. No, it's not. I mean, Spotify's a tech company,
Mm,
and they're utilizing their technical capabilities to disseminate music to the public. So, their platform was, yeah, we're a music company, although they've made efforts to. I mean, at one time, an artist could distribute directly to Spotify. So that raised the eyebrows of the entire industry. People thought Spotify's trying to become a record label.
mm,
If you could distribute directly for them, but once again, just like with anything, they've done what do you call it? They've tested out certain things, like with the distribution. And at one time, it did look like they were trying to become a record company. I said, okay, that's not proper. Threw it away. So now with the shift to podcasting, yes, I feel at some point, I mean, the music is going to be on the back burner.
mm,
They're pushing, they want to be a podcast because, in fact, Spotify hasn't made a profit, okay, off of disseminating music to the public. Yes, they get billions of dollars from these monthly subscribers, but the operations and the overhead of actually running Spotify, they haven't made a profit.
mm,
So they feel the podcasting will put them in a position to actually make a profit. And with that, there's all these little services. Now in my email, I am getting tons of emails from all these little independent, like little services mirroring Spotify, but they're music services.
mm.
On the premise that our services will actually connect you with other musicians, other music professionals, other curators that Spotify doesn't. I mean, Spotify just kind of throws it all up against the wall. Here's all this music. Here are the playlist curators. Everybody have a blast, but all these little independent services that are starting to fly up now,
Mm.
they're supposed to be direct contact with curators. Music professionals can get in touch with each other via these vehicles. So they're they're stressing the music, which it should be about. So I think ultimately, not that Spotify is too massive to go away, but I think musicians are going to find they're going to jump on these other independent venues, and some of these are going to get big. They're all not going to be small, and not that they can contest the Spotify or Apple Music or Pandora or something like that, but they're going to be valid
Yeah.
vehicles for musicians to get exposure on. So I'm looking forward to seeing how all of those are shaped. I've signed up for most of them, and it's just a wait and see thing. See how they develop, and I hope they develop into something viable for independent artists.
Yeah, no, I hope so too. I hope so too, because like from all accounts, like what you've said with like, yeah, I can like just I could throw together a track right now and get it distributed and everything like this. It is easy. I'd say this is most probably the easiest time in history to get your actual music out there. But in the
Yes.
same turn, it seems like it's also the hardest time in history to kind of like really sort of like go, I'm making like, you know what I mean, a living for it. Because like the whole thing is,
Right.
yeah, I'm not looking at it like, yeah, millionaire mansion type thing. I was like
Hmm.
thinking, okay, can it bring in 30 to 50K, like, you know what I mean, pay
Hmm.
my rent, do what I love to do type situation, and like, you know,
Yes.
move on. But it would seem like uh, it could, but you really would need to sort of work
Agreed.
maybe 4 or 5 times harder than like someone like about 20 years ago, if you get what I mean.
Right. Okay. Yes. Yes. I understand what you're saying. Yes. To get to that level of actually trying to maintain yourself,
Yeah.
to generate that amount of streams, and yes, you'd have to play. I don't even know how much work you'd have to put in via marketing,
Mm.
and you'd probably lose any revenue to get in advertising.
Yeah. Uh,
Because theoretically you can gain that type of exposure through advertisements and putting yourself out on social media, but the social media services themselves, like Facebook and IG, have essentially become somewhat, or not somewhat, it's basically a pay to play thing with them. They your posts do not your posts get out to 10% of your follower base. And once again, as an independent musician, your social network, it is key to work your social networking. But let's say I have 3,000 followers, which is great. In your mind, you're thinking, I'm going to put this post out about my music and it's going to get to 3,000 people.
mm,
I was getting to 300, maybe. That's 10%. They want you to use the ad platforms. Now your stuff can get out, but once again, that's money you could be putting into this and that, but they want you to, and hey, I have no con, their business, right?
yeah.
So they want to maximize the profitability of their business, and distributing your post to your 3,000 followers. Yeah, that's beautiful, but for them, where's my benefit? Okay, I got it. I'm not going to distribute your content out to everybody. They're going to have to pay to get it out to your followers and to then some.
Mm,
Pay me. So that's kind of that's been another quandary in the independent scene. It's like, okay, um, geez, where do I spend the money? Because there's so much. You need money to mix and master your songs, but you also need to get your content out. So yes, it's kind of a catch-22 situation. So while there's never been as much resources for the independent artists as of now. I mean, there's stuff all over the place for independent resources. That's a beautiful thing. But as you said, there are some roadblocks that are kind of hindering the process. Like, where do you go unless you have some type of back end? That's what propels many people. Is like, hey, I know independence is fine, but I need this record company here to help me
mm.
because I'm I'm not going to propel myself otherwise. So that's that's a key there. So I guess it works for the ecology of the record of the record industry because you can't totally imagine if it was just as easy as an independent artist to really boost yourself. You can't chop off these major labels. You can't, it's going to be an issue. So I guess there needs to be a way for them to exist as well.
Mm, yeah.
Yes,
No,
yes.
it's tricky, very tricky. And like this is the thing. Like, yeah, I really wish there was a sort of easy solution to it, but
Yes.
and you're right with regards to the sort of social media platforms, especially with Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, it has become pay to play, and yeah, it makes it it, it kind of deceives your sort of like how much reach you might get from it all.
Yes.
So yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's a case of like the when you're talking, it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, you got to be building a mailing list, you got to be doing this, you got to be doing that, and like trying to sort of get things more under control, which takes time and it has to have a certain skill level. Like if like it's like you've got to be an artist and you got to know your marketing skills down to
Yes.
100%. And if you don't, you're gonna have trouble. It's like,
Behind. Yes,
mm,
indeed. That's where the first icon agency comes in these matters.
there you go.
you
There
know.
you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Like so
Yes.
with regards to we talked slightly about where like you might see how the music industry, well,
Mhm.
entertainment industry might be coming back in say 2022. What do you think, like how do you see yourself, your like organization sort of fitting in to this sort of realm for the next say 5 years?
Yes, indeed. Excellent. Excellent. Now I know something's going to pop up, which once again is something I'll probably have to dive into as well. But um, as of now, I see us really, basically, I see us probably moving away from artist bookings
Hmm.
and that so and really becoming more of a digital marketing agency and yes, digital marketing agency and playlist curation and music administration. Those three, moving away from the graphic design and because I just see the way the technology is forming and just the need for artists to not necessarily have an advanced knowledge, but even have a basic knowledge of Google and how they're placing in, owning the first page of Google. It's like you need to have an advanced knowledge of SEO and creating ad campaigns in order to get your music out because there's a lot of competition. So if you can have an organization, an agency that can promote that type of movement and get your music out to a wide array of people, then I think that's going to be a skill that's really necessary as we move forward in the music industry. And once again, the independent artist needs someone in that realm to assist them with that. So that's where I see us really being a digital marketing agency,
Mm,
which would be somewhat of a turn from music. But we have other ventures as well as our 24/7 radio online platform. So once again, I see that picking up as well as the numbers have shown that people are turning away from the physical tuning in radio. They're
yeah.
tuning into consuming their radio by streaming matters. So those those are the means that I see. That's probably where we're going to be in 5 years. Will we? Who knows? You know how things change, but I definitely see us becoming probably a predominantly digital marketing agency, using everything that we've learned with promoting music via the internet and other means like that, and Google and just anything via the internet.
Mm,
Yes, indeed. Yes. I hope this isn't a knock on wood moment.
wow.
I'm like in some other thing, 2025. I'm like, oh well, didn't foresee this, but hey,
Don't
whatever. As
say
long as
that.
long as we're earning.
Don't say that. Look, there is some
Where
people.
I'm like a drummer for some band or something. Like, how did this happen? I tell you, things always happen this way.
Oh,
Well, whatever, man.
oh God. Me. Look, now you're predicting a future like Mad Max and Fury Road. It's like, yeah, there, there'll be you on front of a truck with a electric car shooting flames. Well, I like, it's like I'll be in some car like I'm this son of a bitch. Like, he had to open his mouth on that podcast. It's like, you put it out there. I know. I'm culpable for it as well. But look, here we
See,
are at
man.
Max times.
Yes, 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 indeed. But yes, that's my vision. Yes, yes, my vision.
Yeah, and like with
Yes,
with
indeed.
the radio, like with the 24-hour radio station, will it be something you'll
Yes.
like sort of like put like snip into chunks or slip into its individual programs and then upload it like this, either in a podcast like the breakfast
Mhm.
like the Breakfast Club type situation. And yeah.
Like live. Yes. Right now is very early in the stages. We just established it in April
Hmm.
as something we felt it was good to get into once again, increase our foot stamp in the entertainment industry. But yes, right now it's purely what do you call it, recorded programming. You get other DJs out there, send me mix shows, program it. There's nothing live like what I want to do next is a morning show every day, at least that.
Mm.
Even if I have to do it, but just something live, just something that's something, just content that a person could feel like, was a hey, yeah, it's sunny day here in New York, traffic is blah 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 on the George Washington Bridge. It's
Mm.
something you can really engage with instead of a recorded program, which once again, these DJs do a great job with the content we receive. They do their best job just really making it interactive. They talk like you hear, I'd say majority of these internet stations just somebody sets up a playlist and it runs 24 hours. And I can't listen. I've tried to listen and it's just like I get maybe a half hour and I'm
Yeah, no, but
you
like
know
this is the thing. Like, okay, like that. Well, that's just one person being like highly lazy and just trying to milk as much coin as possible.
uh-huh.
Not trying to what I would say empire build. Like
Mm,
if you're truly doing that, like yeah, you're coming up with different shows, different formats, building brands along multiple different things. Because
yes.
and like, okay, I'll use like Charlemagne the God, well, reference. We both know who he is. Like, okay,
Indeed.
look, he's got the Breakfast Club, which he does like with don't ask me the other two presenters' names because I only see it every now and then. But like with those guys, and then he
uh,
does like the Brilliant Idiots podcast, which he
yes.
does with
Over.
Andrew Schwartz, is it?
I
Um,
believe so. Yes.
yeah. So basically, it's a case of, yeah, with the Breakfast Club, that's one brand which is being built up. They do their morning show, but yeah,
Yes.
they've got other things. But it's syndicated across America, but it's also syndicated via YouTube and maybe like other podcasts across the
Yes.
whole world. Same
Hmm.
thing with Brilliant Idiots. It's like, you know what I mean? It's a podcast which goes everywhere. And
Yes.
yes, they've got two really big Charlemagne's got two really big audiences. And like, look,
Mhm.
let's be honest, like if this was 10 years ago, like Charlemagne the God, yeah, you would know who he is because you're a New Yorker.
I'm in New York, right?
Yeah. But
Have no idea. No
yeah,
idea.
there's a, do you know Charlemagne the God? You? It's like,
What does he call
sounds like
himself?
very,
He's a
yeah.
god.
Oh, wow, sounds like a very interesting chap. Sounds like here you go.
Yes. Woo.
Oh,
Like
oh,
to learn more about him. What?
yes. Does he just simply refer to himself in the third person most of the
Yes.
time?
The god.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
I am God. Yes. Well, you don't live in my universe.
You know?
I am
Yes,
the universe.
indeed.
But yeah, but if you get
Uh-huh.
what I mean, like those guys who just put the playlist on, they're just like, yeah, can I get some coin? But they're not trying to
Yes.
build anything substantial.
No.
Like, I
No,
think
not
that,
at all.
yeah, like, I
And
think
that's
that's what might
what we're
make the
trying to
difference.
build. Exactly. That's why I want to build a morning show, something is the morning platinum vibes and morning mashup. I want to build something people can look forward to in the morning. And once this goes back into, back into when things, kind of shape back into normal. Right now, I mean, the morning drive was
Mm,
so key to radio stations and outlets like that. There is no morning drive. You're walking into your bedroom and starting your workday.
yeah,
Oh,
uh,
it's from there.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and I think with
One.
regards to many people's sort of schedules, how the sort of work week, well, the working day goes, I think right now that's going to be something which is forever changed for people who can work from home and stuff like this, they're going to work from home more. They might go into the office a couple
Yes.
of times a week, but you know what I mean? It's a case of a lot more time with like kids, which they can take to school themselves. And like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just like, yeah, getting that little bit extra rest rather than doing that morning commute or evening
Yes.
commute. And yeah, forever change, forever change.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Wow. Go figure, right?
Yeah, no, it's
Yes, indeed.
mental. Ooh, oh, you slow down for a
I've
sec.
never. I don't even go out anymore like that anymore. Oh, you had
Oh,
a buffering issue. Okay,
yeah.
but all right. Yes, but yes, I don't even go out. But yes, I'm gonna be at a bar. Yes, once they are fully open, and I'm gonna be at a bar because yeah, I don't like the whole people. I don't like all those people around me,
Yeah.
and all that, all the noise. But I'm gonna be at a bar having a big drink. Like wow.
It's like I needed it.
Ah,
I need.
yes. Wow, look, this is great. This is great. And then these annoying two ladies here talking about their horrible love lives. This is even good. I'm taking it all in. Yes, the annoying college student over here who's whining about finals. Yes, this is great. Not at all. This is nothing bad anymore. This is beautiful. Bring it on. Yes, man.
Liking it, liking it. Now, I
Yeah.
have to reveal to you, like before we go, I am a being of supreme cosmic power, and I have the ability to give you one wish, and
Uh-oh.
like one wish alone. Okay, before you get started, look, everyone tries this. Like no wishing for more wishes, no write
Ah.
down on a list of on a paper, like a
Mm-hmm.
list of things going. I wish on the paper comes true. No. And yeah, no wishing for world peace because look, everyone's like, I want world peace. No, doesn't work like
That
that.
one's kind of corny, right?
Yeah. And like, please don't ask for it to bring anyone from back from the dead. Like, yeah,
Oh
what
man, I did want
Robin
Michael
Williams,
Jackson. Damn it.
yeah,
Ah.
Robin Williams covered that. Yeah, it is creepy, but it's like, it's like
I mean,
never
get him
works out
back.
the way you want it. But yeah,
Yes, indeed.
if I could, like,
Yeah.
what would your one wish be, sir?
Wow. Oh, you know what? Wow, I don't even know why I'm thinking that is easy. And it's not even related to music. It's not related to music.
Ah,
Yes, indeed. Yes. My one wish in the world, and I know it's not possible, but I would hope that everyone in this world would stop consuming meat.
ooh, you're a vegan, are you?
Yes, I am. 4 years in. 4 years now. 3 years in. Yes, September of 17. I remember. I remember it was like my born day. But yes, I wish so because I believe that so many of the diseases that people perish from, and people are perishing, so it's like ridiculous. Someone that's high blood pressure, heart disease, it's all meat related.
Eh?
Hey, diabetes, all these stuff is related to the things we consume. So I would wish that everyone would stop consuming meat and eat healthier. Because even on a vegan diet, you could get into all those sweets and consuming bad things for you. But yeah, yeah, just yeah, we don't have to die. We could live long, productive lives and without all the pills and all that stuff. Even people living long lives are pills and medicines and no, no, no.
Mm,
That's what I hope.
you know
That's
what?
my
Okay.
wish.
Now what I'll do, like I'll give you half of your wish. Like everyone to eat healthier. But yeah, like all I can
Okay.
say, yeah, the meat side.
No meat.
Oh,
Okay.
I like the meat side. I won't lie. Look. All I've got to simply say is like, okay, like I apologize. Like I don't apologize.
Oh,
I,
hey, yeah, I'm
I,
not one of those vegans like, oh
no,
my
no,
God,
no, no. I
how
was
dare you?
like Netflix. There was a thing called like Chef's Table, which came on, and like yeah, this season was barbecue. Oh, good God! I watched the trailer for that. Like my
Oh
mom
boy.
came in, saw me dribbling like a fool. Then she's like, I pressed play, and we're both sitting there just staring at the screen
Oh
intensely,
boy.
like going, "How can I get to Texas right now?" I'm like, look, I would have got like, yeah, if I could fly there, I would be there. Like, hey,
Oh boy.
like,
It's
yeah,
like, phew.
yeah. So you know what? I'll give you healthy
At
food.
least eat healthier.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. There's
I'll
so
give
many
you healthy
things.
food. But yeah,
Yes, yes.
uh, but yeah, no. No, I can't give you.
Then you don't want me to meet.
No,
I
no.
hear you. I hear
Hey,
you.
look, yeah, you know what? I'd love to go to like a eat as much as you can restaurant with you. Yeah, you can have like the vegan stuff. I
Yeah,
have the meat
it's
stuff.
like you can have that.
Yeah, I'll sit
Like,
there with
you
this
eat
like
that.
itis that's like going, and then
It's like, oh wow.
yeah.
They got the bib on with the barbecue sauce all over you.
No, bib. No, no, man. I'll be like a 2-year-old with some pudding.
Oh, he's like doing looking like you got shot.
It's like people like, hey man, you, I don't know how to tell. You got something on your face. Where? There's like,
Yeah. So, oh,
oh,
yeah, I remember, man. I was in
oh,
all that stuff, man. I used to dig in, but yeah, I came. Well, that was a part of when I said, I looked in introspective. I just changed my life, and I was like, I need to lose weight. I want to be around for her,
mm-hmm.
because what my mother was only 55.
Ah,
So I told myself. So from then I was like, because I always believed in the genetics thing.
yeah,
Like, wow, I probably don't have, I'm probably 50 at best, 50, 55 as well, because she had tons of health problems. Never in my mind linking it to the diet. She grew up in the South, and my God, just quote unquote soul food, pig feet,
yep,
collard greens with
yep,
bacon grease all
yep.
in, black eyed peas. It's the diet, but I never, so I'm thinking, yeah, 50, 55, that's it. So then finally, it's our diet. Oh, that's why all my aunts and uncles, 50s at best,
Yep.
gone. I had 12 aunts and uncles, gone, 50s, 60s. I had one aunt live until the 70s. Then that was like, whoa, holy cow, how she do that?
She took the life
So
force for
yeah,
the rest of your family. There you go.
yeah, right.
It's like, hey,
Like, yes, I've got it. But yes, so once I did the introspection, I was like, the diet. All right, okay. All right. Yes, yeah, the stuff tastes good, but I don't need it. I don't need it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move on. And I
mm,
lost weight naturally and started doing things healthy. And so here I am. But yeah, that's what I wish. So yes, if not for the meat, just people living more productive lives without those ailments. High blood pressure. No, no, no. If you
mm.
eat healthy, you can eat healthy. There's lean chicken, but stuff like bacon and hot dogs and all that kind of stuff is like, man, he's like,
It's like, I'm just
yes,
like
yes,
bacon, hot dogs. Yeah, there, yeah. Keep talking, keep talking. It's
yes.
like,
Sounds tasty.
it's
Yes, yes.
it's like, baby,
Mm,
baby. It's like, yeah.
yeah.
It's
So in fact, I'm in the mood for some, right?
yeah. It's like, oh, but yeah.
you know.
Uh,
But shifted from that. If that's the health issue, that's gonna keep us. But yes, if for music, I would wish if music wise, I don't know if I get a music one, but music wise, I would just hope that at some point that that the playing field evens out. That's what I'll say. Because right now it is heavily leaning towards the record labels, and it's just heavily skewed against the independent artists from really making that push. Although the resources are there, let's kind of level this out, even with the venues as well,
mm,
because that's a beast as well as the independent artist. Well, you don't really have, and once again, I understand it's a business; they have to make money, but you don't really have a fan base. Um, no, 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 no. So it's tough to even get into a venue, to perform on a consistent basis as an independent artist. So just hoping that some of these avenues open up, and hopefully once these venues return, hopefully it's more of a performers market as opposed to the venue, because I mean they've been shut down for months. So hopefully
yeah.
they're more open to, listen, let's just get people on our schedule and
I think,
give
I
this
think,
guy a shot, give
yeah.
him a shot, man.
I think you're right. I think there a number of venues are going to be more sort of flexible with regards to that. I can
Yeah.
see them sort of like, yeah, try to do sort of big bookings, but I think they're gonna like figure out ways to get more small, like smaller groups in. If
Mhm.
even if it's a case of, okay, yeah, we're gonna do a sort of micro live aid sort of concept where we're gonna get a number of different
Yes,
artists in,
even
and
that
let's
is
do it that
beautiful.
way. And like, oh right, you can have the venue like say on like Wednesday or Thursday night to get
Yes.
people in. So like, yeah. Mm. That might be an idea. That might be an idea. Like,
Uh-oh.
like,
Uh-oh.
yeah. Like, hey, New York Artists Network, get everyone together. Like, yeah,
Uh-oh.
find event like a number of venues, which you know what I mean. You can get them to like work with you. If you've got say 20 artists on the books, that
Ooh,
that you can have
that's a
like
full
yeah.
night.
Well, that's a full night, but if you like break it down, those 20 into like groups of like four groups of five, that's enough
Mm-hmm.
time for a good set, like of maybe three, four songs for each artist. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you bring like traffic and people into
They're
those
gonna bring
venues.
their trip, each individual travel. Right,
Yeah, you
right.
see?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Whoa.
Is
I
that,
need you on the marketing team here.
is
Gee.
that,
Wow. Bob Geldorf, watch out.
is that
Mm,
going, I see.
yes.
There you go. I'll let you have that one for free. Is that
Oh,
going?
thank you.
Is that, yeah.
Oh, what's your PayPal link? Oh my
Is that going?
goodness.
Is that don't yeah, don't tempt me. No,
It's
I'm
like, oh
not,
wow, he sent it. Oh my
yeah,
goodness. Uh-oh.
it's like a, you sent me an invoice for 5 grand. I don't
Yeah,
want
okay.
to
My goodness. Wow. I knew these pandemic times were. My goodness. Oh well. Time to change my email address. I'm out of here. Yes, yes. Wow.
Chichu.com.
Okay. Yes, indeed. But no, that's a good idea, and that helps the venues. They get, those venues worried about, okay, this one artist is not going to bring enough people, and I'm not going to make money at the bar. I'm not going to make money at the door. You bring four different groups in, you have a better chance. They're each bringing their individual fan base,
Yep.
friends, and family. You should, even if you don't make it at the door, you're probably going to make it at the bar
Yeah.
because that's one thing. People consume alcohol, and
Like, hey, what can I say?
that's
Everyone likes that sauce. Everyone likes that sauce.
that is a basic of life here. And like I said, I'm not the biggest drinker anymore, but I'll be at a bar with a big. I haven't had beer, and I moved on to whiskey in my older years. I'm more mature and elegant whiskey and
Oh,
wine.
oh, whiskey and wine. Okay, like
Yes,
Maker's
yes.
Mark, Maker's Mark, Wild Turkey. Like
Um, oh
what's
my
your
God, I forgot the name. It's called Satori Japanese whiskey.
okay? Going down the Japanese route. Okay, nice.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes,
Hmm?
yes. It's a lot per shot, but yes, yes. That's my thing now. But I'm gonna have a big pitcher of beer
Yeah.
at a pub. Yes, I'm just gonna be like, wow, yeah,
Uh,
awesome, man, awesome. Yes, watching some sporting events. Yes,
yes.
indeed.
You
Yes,
know
as
what?
baseball comes back.
Tell you what, I'll raise a glass for you. Like yeah, when pubs over here, I'll sort of have a picture of me on social media. Yeah,
I, I, I,
that's how.
I've never been to the UK in all my travels,
Yeah,
which is odd. I've never been to the UK.
uh,
Crazy. I've been around in Netherlands, Ireland, and
yeah.
France, but never to the UK. Yes,
Wow.
indeed.
Like this is the thing. Like when you did your travels, or like which was your sort of favorite country? Which which did you have the connection with?
Oh well, yeah. I see. You're going to get an insight into my way of being. By far, the Netherlands.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
I wonder why.
Ah, oh boy. Whoa. Yes, yes,
Okay, okay, yeah.
yes. Indeed, the Netherlands was by far. Yes, indeed. Yes. Yes, but they each like I love the architecture in France.
Yep.
Amazing, awesome. But I couldn't wait to leave. It's very boring to me. Yeah, I know people. Well, once remember, I did all these by myself.
Right.
I'm a solo traveler. I find that's the most effective way to really enjoy because I love to walk and just as soon as I lay my bags down at the hotel, I'm off
Ah,
experiencing the city. So I was off in Paris, just walking around, and I was like, wow, I thought there'd be more people who would, what do you call, accommodate me, like that selfish American theory. Nobody was speaking English. That's why I couldn't wait to get out.
oh
I
yeah.
found it so difficult to find my way, even ordering a simple, I couldn't do anything.
No, like
Nobody.
you got to understand. Okay, you've got like you got to look at it this way. You've got France, and then you've got Paris. Okay, and like okay, and then like like you got kind of like the French attitude when it comes to it. Like there will be many a French person who understands English and understands English well. But if you don't make any sort of effort to like speak any French, then they'll just leave you twisting it in the wind, smiling.
Which they did.
Why? There's like I know what you're talking about, but no,
Yes, my
twisting in
God.
the
My
wind.
God.
But if you like, je m'appelle, and they're like, oh no, no, don't worry, understand.
Je m'appelle.
Yeah, like, like,
Let me take out my book,
yeah,
man.
yeah, just like yeah, you've tried. Well done. Okay, we'll reward you with speaking English and like take it from there. And then like yeah, and if you're in Paris, Paris has an attitude all of itself apparently, which like I
Yeah,
like when I
man.
was in Paris when I was a kid, I couldn't really tell, but yeah, you just like when you talk to French people, there's like, oh yeah, where you from? I'm from this part of France. Oh yeah, I'm from Paris. And then you see the French person like look at the Parisian. They're like, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, indeed.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
I got one last question before we have to
Yes,
go.
sir.
Yeah, which country would you like to travel to when we're allowed to get out and about in the world again?
Oh, man. Jeez. My bucket list is large, but I would say number one is Italy.
Ah,
Yes,
Italy.
yes.
Um,
I want to see those sites, those architectural, the Leaning Tower piece of the Colosseum, the statues, all the old Roman sculptures. Oh, love to. So that's where I'm gonna go.
uh,
Yes, indeed.
nice.
Rome, here I come.
Rome is a very good city, but all I'll simply say is, if you're crossing the road, you take your life in your own hands. Yeah, like, or
Look
what you,
both ways.
yeah, or what you need to do, like yeah, you like when you're crossing the road in Rome, like yeah, you look around. If you see a nice looking young lady, and like yeah, it's a more macho in Italy, and like yeah, she's crossing the road. Yeah, you make sure you like stay close to that lady because like traffic will stop, and the guy
There's that.
and you'll have a pack of guys just staring as you fly.
It's like,
That's how-
jiggle across too.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
when the magic power of that lady disappears, you're in trouble. There ain't no woo. You just like, oh God, help me. ah,
Zoom. Time to scoot. Yes, indeed.
okay, man. Awesome. I wish you luck on your Roman ventures. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. It's been a pleasure there.
Oh,
Pleasure.
can you tell the lovely people how they can find you out there?
Ah, yes, sir. Yes, indeed. They can find me at our official website on the internet at www.firsticonagency.com or on social media. Instagram is at First Icon Agency and Twitter as well. And on Facebook, we are First Icon Agency LLC.
Mm.
And yes, and that's where the people can find me, or there's all these ors, but and as well, they could check out our platforms of Platinum Vibes Radio and our blog, the Streamline Music Blog.
Mm.
Yes,
Outstanding. Ah,
thank you.
Devin, pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you
Hey,
for coming
thank you
on.
for having me.
Yeah, very informative. I'd like to say thank you to you, my friends, my life warriors, for like staying to this point. Please stay safe, stay well, be awesome, be excellent, be fantastic. Be all the positive bees you can be in this world and then some. Have a great day, guys. Yeah, peace.
Right, thank you.
And we are